There we go. Oh, that one smashed it. Oh my God. I think we found them, boys. I think we found them. So we just got out here, guys, spring of the year, and we are chasing smallmouth this morning. One of the biggest things in the springtime, it's all about water temperature. Water temperature dictates everything. So these fish mainly live out in some deeper water on deeper hard bottom for the most part during the winter months. And then in the springtime, as the water temperature warms up, these fish are gradually gonna make their way up onto hard bottom where they can spawn. So I guess a good starting spot to look for these fish would just be high spots or big points, extensions adjacent to basins where I think there might be some wintering smallmouth at. They haven't seen a lot of baits yet. They haven't been pressured and pushed off of that obvious stuff. So that's what I like to target right away. You might think it's too obvious, but it really isn't. These fish, they go to the best looking stuff in the lake, and that's where they're going to be. Kind of looking around, I want to find some rock. I know for a fact that there's rock in this lake. That's where they're going to end up, you know, going to spawn, is around that harder bottom. Here's the basin out here. You can obviously see dark bottom. This is all mud, and we're just starting to get into some harder bottom there. You can see the transition. There's a rock or two off the end. We're still pretty deep. I'm just gonna follow this guy out. Here's our point. Here's our big extension that comes out. It's gonna dip back down into some deeper water. I'm just gonna drop a waypoint right there on that guy. You need to find the best looking stuff, and this right here is exactly what we're looking for. You can see the shadows that these rocks are throwing. That is prime habitat right there. There we go. Smallmouth. We got a brown one, folks. As you guys can see, the wind's really bucking here. And you just have to search this time of year. They're not everywhere. And that's why just throwing a moving bait is so important. Throwing a squarebill right now, OG Rocco. Nice, Smalley. Yep. Nice. There we go. Look how fat they are. So much fun this time of year. Squarebill. Top of the mouth. These hybrid trebles. You don't often dump too many on this guy. These things are sticky. Round football. So much fun this time of year. Just cover in water. That's what it's all about. Throwing a crankbait for smallmouth is something that I've really become fond of over the last few years. Shallow, deep, doesn't really matter. It just seems like it gets bites, and not many people throw it. It's just something a little bit different that, you know, not a lot of guys have on the deck. Came back for it. Jumping. There we go. Those hybrid dribbles. They are so deadly. The characteristics of a squarebill specifically, it's designed to bang off of cover, and so that's exactly what we have here today. This thing just does a great job of deflecting, and that's when I'm getting my bites, is when I'm hitting the rock or hitting a reed. It's, you know, making a odd movement off of the cover, and this one in particular comes off cover really, really well. This thing, as soon as I hit it, I can either give it a hard rip or let it float back up and get out of the cover. Just fish much more clean than I would be able to a lot of other baits. There we go. They are chewing next to deep water, and these fish will slide up and down, you know, depending on the weather. So they still want to be near water. They're not going to be, this is a great big spawning flat behind us here. And they're not going to be way up there. They're going to be near the deeper water this time of year, just so they can slide out into a little bit more consistent water temps, and it's a good sign. When you're dealing with treble hook baits, The setup, I think, is extremely, extremely important. Something that's got a lot of bend to it. This is a regular action. It's a 610 medium, but it's a regular action. So it is super, super parabolic. That just allows me to fight the fish a lot better. And so something that allows them to take that bait, 12-pound fluorocarbon. This is a 4 to 5 foot square bill. So 12-pound fluorocarbon just allows me to get down. I just don't seem to need anything beefier than that either. I actually use a high gear ratio reel. As you guys can see, I'm fishing this thing pretty fast. I'm banging it off of rocks and whatnot. I just don't really feel like I need to go with a low gear ratio reel. They're obviously hitting it pretty hard, so I want to keep tight on that fish at all times. And the higher gear ratio reel allows me to do that. There we go. Oh, that one smashed it. Oh my God. Oh man, they hit a bait hard this time of year. Just so important. I can't reiterate enough the fact of throwing a moving bait this time of year, no matter what it is. You know, swim bait, I love throwing a swim bait. But a crankbait is pretty hard to beat, and that bite, that bite is so much fun. Get in here. Oh, look at that guy. T-boned. T-boned. Look at that. Oh, there you got him. Look at that fish. Super, super fun. Croc colored. We're dealing with fairly dirty water today, and that's another reason why I like throwing a crankbait so much. Just attracts a lot more fish in less than clear conditions. Nice smallmouth. They're so round this time of year.